Good morning, all. Welcome to Conduct Learning How to Learning with Study. So, we are at a chapter Metals and Non-Metals, and this is a third chapter for Class 10 Science. First of all, we will understand what is metal and what is non-metals. Metals and non-metals both are elements. Even the metalloid is also an element. And first of all, we have to understand what is an element. An element is a substance which is in its pure state. So whatever the thing is in its pure state, it is known as elements. And metal, non-metals, metalloid, all three are elements. If we want to understand what is a metal, we have to understand its properties. Metals having different properties, and these properties are categorized on physical properties or chemical properties. So metal having two different type of properties, physical properties and chemical properties, and these properties either in physical form, either in chemical form, are different from non-metals. Or we can say that non-metals and metals both are different from each other by its physical properties and chemical properties. The third one is a metalloid. Metalloid possesses the property of both metal as well as non-metals. So metalloid is the in between metal and non-metals because it having the properties of metals as well as non-metals. So metalloids having examples like silicon, germanium, antimony, etc. And what are metal? What are its physical properties and what are its chemical property? We will understand in the next slides. Metal physical properties. Metal having the physical properties, and the physical properties are those properties which we can understand by just looking at the thing. So if we simply see the thing, we can understand either it's a metal or non-metal. We can distinguish it. So it is come under the physical properties. So first property of metal is solid. Metal are normally found in solid state at room temperature. One exception is there for mercury. Mercury is a metal, but it is not solid at room temperature. It is in liquid state. The same is for gallium, the same is for hydrogen. So these three metals having these three metals, mercury, hydrogen and gallium, are liquid at room temperature. They are not solid. Rest of the metals are solid. So first physical property of the metal is they are solid in nature. They are in solid state. A section is for mercury, hydrogen and gallium. The next is luster. Luster is basically known for shining surface. Mostly metals are shining on its surface. They reflect light. They are polished. Like gold. Gold is very shiny. So it is a metal. Malleability. Malleability mean to say the metal can be converted into the sheet, thin sheets. If you will beaten it, if you beaten a metal, you can convert that metal into the sheet. So they have the property of malleability. You can convert a simple solid piece of a metal into the thin sheet, right? Next property is the ductility. Ductility, it is known for drawing a thin wire from the metals. If you want, the metal should be come in the form of thin wire. You can use the property of ductility in the metals. It is known for gold that you can draw a 2 kilometer length of a wire from a 1 gram of a gold. So gold having that much amount of ductility in it, right? This property is very high in gold. Conduction of heat. This is a very important property for metals. Metals are good conductor of heat. They can conduct heat, right? Metals like silver, copper, etc. are best conductor of heat. You can simply use them for making a for making your cooking containers, cooking devices, because they are good conductor of heat. Because you have to be prepare a food in that containers which are made of metal. it will be very easy to cook that food, because it can the container which are made up of metals, they can conduct heat very easily, and your food will be ready very soon. So that's why these metals are used, and mostly metal are good conductor of heat and have high melting point. This is the another property that is required with the conduction of heat, because if with the property of conduction of heat, if the melting point will be low for metal, they will be they will be melt when you will be use the metals for cooking food and etc. For any other task like this. So it should require high melting point also. So metal should need high melting point as well as conduction of heat. So the both properties are there with the metals. Exception is for lead and mercury. They are the poor conductor of heat. Now the question will become to you in mind. If the mercury is poor conductor of heat, then why we are measuring the body temperature with the thermometer containing mercury inside? The mercury is a poor conductor of heat, but the thermal coefficient of expansion with mercury is very high. So when you will be no, when you will be measure the body temperature with the help of the thermometer that contain mercury inside, it will be expand very quickly according to the temperature measurement. So the mercury is a poor conductor of heat, but its thermal coefficient of expansion is more than the other metals. So that's why it's used in the thermometer. Conduction of electricity, and again one of the important thing, metals are good conductor of electricity. Mostly the electrical wires are made up of aluminium or copper, because aluminium and copper both are good conductor of electricity. So that's why they are used for making wires. The copper and the silver, sorry, not silver, the copper and the aluminium both are good conductor of current. You can also say like that. So that's why they are used to making wires, electrical wires, and they are insulated by a PVC on its surface. That is a polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride is to provide insulation on the wires surface, so that you will be not get in touch with the current that is flowing across this wire. Right? Activity. This activity will be clear the conduction of heat with the available with the metals. Take aluminium or copper wire. You have to first of all take either aluminium or either copper wire, and clamp this wire on the stand as shown in the figure. Here there is a stand, and this stand is containing a clamp. This is a clamp, and this clamp hold the either aluminium or either copper wire. Right? Fix a pin to the free end of this wire using wax. Now here we are using a wax and we are fixing a pin with it to hold that pin. Now heat the wire with a split lamp. Now we use a split lamp and start heating this wire. You will be note down that after some time this wax will be get melt and the pin will be come down. Why this is happening with this? Why this is happening with this experiment? Why this is happening with the needle? Because this wire to which this pin is connected, this pin is attached to through a wax, is good conductor of heat. This is made up of metal, either of aluminium, either of copper. So that's why when you will be use a split lamp and this metal will be get heated because of the flame across here, it will be transfer that heat to its cold junction, cold end, cool end. This will become hot after some time, and the heat will be transferred to its cool end, and the heat will be melt this wax, and the needle will become down. This is what happened in this. So from here we understand that the metal are good conductor of heat. The above activities show that the metal are good conductor of heat and have high melting point, because the with that heat conduction it is also having high melting point, because the metal will be not get melt, right? So high melting point is also there with this aluminium or copper, right? The best conductor of heat are silver and copper. Silver and copper both are good conductor of heat. Silver we are really used for making cooking devices or any cooking containers, because it is very costly. Otherwise, copper and aluminium is mostly used. Lead, mercury are completely poor conductor of heat. Please keep remember the lead and mercury both are poor conductor of heat. So mercury basically used in thermometer for to check the temperature. That doesn't mean that mercury having the high conduction of it. The mercury is having the high thermal expansion, heat expansion. So that's why it expands quickly when it is getting heat through thermometer. Conduction of electricity is another activity. So here we will use a battery, we will use a wire, we will use a clips, a bulb and a switch. Set up the electric circuit as shown in the figure. Place a metal to be tested in the circuit between A and B. Here, please fix some metal. If you will fix a metal here, the bulb will be glow. That means to say it is a good conductor of electricity. Metal is a good conductor of electricity. Otherwise, if you will be place a rubber here, rubber is a bad conductor of electricity. The bulb will definitely not glow. Either the switch is on, either the battery is fully charged, but the bulb will definitely not glow because you are putting a rubber inside, so it will be break the path of electricity here across AB point. So that's why you need to put a metal here, a metal part here, so that it will be help the electricity to flow through it and glow the bulb. So this is the experiment which is showing that metals are good conductor of electricity. So it is also written then, you must have seen that wire that carry current in your home have a coating of polyvinyl chloride or rubber like material. Why the electrical coated with such substance? To protect you from getting shock from the current. So that's why the PVC insulation is provided on the wire, because wires are good conductor of electricity. If you get in touch with that wire, you will get a shock. So that's why the insulation layer of PVC is given on it, right? Another property is hardness. Metal physical property is hardness. Generally, metals are hard in nature, like, but exception is for sodium and potassium. They are not hard; they are soft. They are even that soft. You can cut them with the help of a knife. Melting and boiling point, as we discussed before, it is very much high for the metals. If you specifically take the example of tungsten, tungsten is a material that you are using in the filament bulbs. Tungsten is having very high melting point. It having temperature, it can withstand the temperature range up to 3400 degrees Celsius, and it is used in bulb, right? So that's why it's used in bulb, right? Sodium and potassium having the low melting point. Exception is for sodium and potassium. This having low melting point, even they can melt in the presence of air. So that's why usually they kept in the kerosene oil. If you just uh, uh, simply take sodium or potassium and you expose them to the air, they will be catch fire. They have the very low temperature, melting, boiling, right? They catch fire easily. Scenarios. Metal produce sound when you strike its surface, like bells. Bells are basically made up of a brass. If you simply, you know, if you simply touch or if you simply touch any other metal with it, it will be produce some sound, right? Metal physical properties are enlisted there. Metal are solid. Exception is for mercury. Mercury is the only metal which is liquid at room temperature. Metal are hard, and exception is for what? Exception is for lithium, potassium, sodium. These three metals are very soft and they can even cut with knife. Metal have high metallic luster. They are shining in surface like gold. Metal are malleable. You can bitten them into sheets. Metal ductile. You can draw wire from them like a gold. 1 gram of gold can be drawn into 2 kilometer length of wire. Matter of high melting point. Exception is for gallium and cesium. They have no melting point. Uh, they can even melt on your palm, right? Metal have high melting point. Metal are good conductor of electricity. Exception is for lead and mercury, as I told you before. Metal are good conductor of electricity. Best is for silver and copper. Metal are sonorous. They produce sound when you will beat it. So these are the physical properties of the metals.